if you could select personality traits like from a catalog and put them in your shopping basket, which ones would you choose for your child, but also for yourself? So I would like my child to be calm, confident, friendly, conscientious, and adventurous. We aren't born with personalities. We do come with certain potentialities and what can you say, propensities, these configurations of our nervous and endocrine systems that predispose us towards certain emotional states, but also you could say traits. But the experts are telling us that relationships shape our brains. And so, like, if I want my child to be calm, what does that require of me? So they've done some research. They did this longitudinal study where they looked at mothers who were quite stressed and anxious during their pregnancy and some other mothers who weren't. And then they followed them and their kids, for like the next 10 years or so. And they found that most of these kids, of the mothers who were stressed and anxious in pregnancy, had increased susceptibility. They were more prone to stress and anxiety themselves. So this shows that the experience in the womb has such a profound impact on the personality development of the child, how much more so the interpersonal influence. So if I want my child to be calm, I have to be calm myself, but I also have to be a calming influence on her in her life. If I want my kid to be confident, then because they are watching and observing and absorbing everything, so I myself have to be assertive and self-assured, but more especially, I have to treat her in a way that builds her self-esteem, that makes her feel valuable and competent, and that what she has to say is important. And so I have to listen when she speaks, and I have to act and take action, make her respond to her needs. And in this way you build her self-esteem and personal power. And it's based on the feelings, the emotions of pride, but also anger. She must be able to own her anger so that she can be assertive and protect her rights and her boundaries. If I want my kid to be friendly, I have to be sociable and genial myself, but also I have to encourage her in her relationships with other kids and with other people, but more especially be there when there are some difficulties, conflict, kids arguing over a toy or who gets to go on the swing or whatever it is, but helping her to navigate these difficult conflicting emotions, because on the one hand she wants to play and have fun with her friend, and on the other hand there's this competitive aspect, and they want to win, and they want to dominate, or they want to be first or what have you. So and on the one hand there is rights, like if it's her toy and this child is trying to take it away, then she has the right to say, no, that's mine, and she can assert herself, and you can encourage her to do so. But on the other hand, maybe she's in the wrong, and she's transgressing someone else's rights, and she needs to empathize, and she needs to be objective and receive information and act accordingly, appropriately, and so in this way, through regulating and expressing her emotion and evaluating the situation, she's able to enhance her relationship with another person and move back into play and fun and the flow rather than disconnect and withdraw and get stuck in the difficult, unpleasant emotions. So conscientiousness is like working hard and persevering and putting in your best effort, and so it's a good trait to have. But like a lot of parents want their kid to be successful in life and to do well for themselves, and so they encourage or force the child to get good grades at school, study hard and do your homework, and it becomes kind of tense situation. And so this kind of reward and punishment builds extrinsic motivation. And so it may seem to work on the surface of it because the child complies and does what you want them to do, but it's not coming from within, so eventually it's going to break down, whether it takes a year or 5 years or 20 years. Eventually, the person will become disillusioned with it. Like, what am I doing this for? Like some people, they reach the top of that ladder, of that pyramid, and success, but then it feels empty and hollow because they never had any personal meaning, connection to it. So how do you build this? How do you develop intrinsic motivation? So we all want our kids to be safe and protected, but we don't want to stifle their sense of exploration and risk-taking, so too much smothering and protectiveness, and they become fearful of exploring and taking risks. So we got to take them into new territories and new places, and sometimes maybe hold their hand and show them that it's safe to be here, and expand their horizons, and maybe let them go off and explore on their own, but be close enough to keep them safe and out of danger and not getting lost and things like that. And in that way, they know that they can go a little further, and there's always safety, but there's always new horizons.